Hello and welcome. My name is Connie Ann, and I'm really excited to be talking to you today. I am here with Bobby Niker. He is Director Principal Consultant at iEngineering Australia. Welcome, Bobby.
Thank you, Connie. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You have a ton of experience in the electrical engineering area, like over 30 years worth, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But first, we were just talking before we came on camera about some really big mistakes that companies make before they hire a firm such as yours. And I want to get into those first, if you don't mind, and then we'll dig into that other stuff later. And one of the mistakes you said is that companies are just going and pulling something off the shelf, thinking that that's going to solve all their software solution problems. And there seems to be a lot of choices out there. So why do they not fill that space?
Okay. Well, what I mean by that is some softwares they are out there in the market which can only do specific things. At iEngineering, we have a software that generally can be customized what our client needs. For example, we have an asset management software which can be customized according to client's need. The forms can be customized, the workflow can be customized. Many things are there which really makes it very, very useful for our client. And I notice that people don't value that. They think, okay, we can buy one software and it is just going to do it, and it's they bought it, but they don't realize all the features are not there probably to help them solve their daily problems.
So they end up kind of just making do with what they get instead of
Yes,
getting something that actually does what they need it to do. Is that right?
that's right. And we at our engineering we are able to provide the software and make it work according to the requirements, and that's very important. Just getting off the shelf any software probably will not solve the problem.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. And the other thing you said is in terms of the design process that you guys do for your clients, that they rush the process. Are they coming in there like they needed it yesterday and they're pushing to get it done? Is that the problem?
Yeah, some people, even we have some clients, they go and actually do the job without design. Okay. And many times we have come across the utilities, power utilities get them, and then we have to come back and do the design. By that time, they have already got a notice from the council asking them to get this done, fix, and we are sometimes trying to help them. We got through a lot of pressure to finish the job, on time, and there's a lot of jobs are happening like that these days. And I think that's people are not realizing that design is very important. We need to check things are correct before you go and really construct it. So that's why we feel sometimes some people think design is not important. Engineering study is not important. You can save a lot if you did a proper study before you do it. One good example, let's say if you're doing earthing for your substations, and if you did not do a proper study of your earthing design, you may end up spending more money. And let's say when you did it, and then when we did a test on it, and we found that it doesn't comply to the requirements, then you have to redo it again, so it's costing a lot of money. And sometimes people over design it because or over I mean, they construct it because they did not realize that they could get away with less material. In other words, okay. So it's important that people should not rush through the design.
Oh, because that leads to other costs, like, well, fines perhaps, and doing it over again. So it ends up actually being more expensive for them in the long run than doing it that way.
True. And another thing that I always see that people are not trying to adapt to 3D designing. They're still doing. A lot of clients are still looking at, or some consultants are still looking at 2D designing. At our engineering, we prefer 3D designing because when you do a 3D designing, you can actually see everything what you've done. Pretty much, you can have a model in front of you. You can work through the model. You can check every aspect of it. And before it goes to construction, imagine when something went out for construction and there was an error. Okay, in 3D you'll never have that because 3D is already been developed electronically, for example, in the computer, and you have all the materials, bill of material. you know what will fit where and how it will look when it actually gets executed. So it's very important. People need to understand that also doing 3D modeling of any design, is very important.
Oh,
Okay,
so they can
so
really be
yeah,
more hands-on,
yeah, and I mean,
literally.
just
Hmm.
saves a lot of money. There can be a costly error, which could, at the construction site, when you get an error happen. Let's say if something got ordered and it's wrong size, right? Now the project gets delayed. There may be liquidated damages that you have to pay for. So when doing a 3D modeling and designing, everything fitted well in the computer. When you're doing the CAD designing, it cannot be wrong on site,
Mm,
and,
right.
and even the bill of material will be accurate, so you cannot miss anything also. Okay.
Mm.
Mm.
That brings to the third thing, cost. People are focusing on, well, how much is it going to cost me to get it done? And they're not considering the cost of ownership and actually the savings, right? In owning it. So what are the benefits of owning something that's actually designed right and created specifically for them?
Yeah, so basically we at our engineering, we are not only doing design work, we also get things manufactured for our client. And sometimes we find that clients are pretty much they're considering the cost of buying that product rather than looking at the total ownership of it. Like, they should not only look at it, they should look at what maintenance will be required in coming future, spares, how efficient and how durable this product is, the quality of the product. All those things should be considered before they procure. So generally we try to give our client the best quality product so that they are happy with it. So that's one thing we have realized. A lot of people just look at what is the price, what is the cost only, rather than looking at the total package of it.
Mm. And so we talked earlier off the top about all of your experience. I have all your experience here, and it's a lot. Instead of me reading it, I would love to just give the floor to you. And can you talk about your credentials, the credentials in your company, and the background that makes your company unique and what makes you guys special in your field?
Okay. Well, I bring over 30 years of diverse experience in electrical engineering, automation, software, and power systems, having contributed to, like key industries, including like food, water, telecom, steel, power, renewable energy. And also I'm a chartered professional engineer recognized by Engineers Australia, and I'm accredited in electrical and electronics, information and telecommunication, leadership and asset management. My registration on the National Engineering Register enables me to not only work in New South Wales but across other states such as Victoria, Queensland, even Western Australia. So that's about me, I guess.
Thank you. That's a whole lot. Can you dig into the National Engineering Register? Can you explain a little bit more about what that is and why that's important for people to check out and make sure that whoever they hire has that accreditation?
Yeah. So once you have done your chartered with Engineers Australia, you automatically get registered into National Engineering Register. Now, once you are there, then you can apply into different states, and get your registration done very easily. After that, it's all easy. Then you can sort of work in that state and sign off designs and studies and things like that. So if you don't have that accreditation, you can't sign off the designs.
Okay. All right. So it's a whole other level of professionalism that you bring to the table with that
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
accreditation. Okay. So your products, when we were talking about the three mistakes that people make, we walk through software design and hardware. So your company does multiple layers. So can you dig a little bit deeper into each of those three layers, what you provide specifically, and who is your client in each of those that you serve and that would come to you for that service?
So. Our business is pretty much in divided in three business units. The first one I'll talk about is software. Under software, we have a number of engineering software, and they are basically, one of them is called Neplan. Neplan is for power system studies, and this software generally are required by power utilities and consultants to do their power system studies. Okay, it does all sorts of studies that a power system engineer required, from load flow, short circuit, you know, harmonics, motor starting, arc flash, everything is done. Okay, even hosting studies can be done in this software. This software with power utilities, it can also be, basically integrated with GIS of power utilities. In other words, Neplan can work like an engine into the GIS and can do all the smart calculations within the GIS. So it really helps fast track the projects they're doing. If they're doing a power application for a client, they can study there and then in the GIS. So these are some of the things that Neplan can do. It's a very, very well recognized software in European countries, but iEngineering is the representative in Australia. Okay, so that's one software. We have got another software which is called XGS Lab. This software is used to do all sorts of earthing design. It can be used by power utilities and earthing consultants also. The software can also do EMF, electromagnetic field interference studies. It can also do lightning protection calculations like rolling sphere, and various other things can be done in there. Very, very powerful software. And it's quite famous in it's all over the world actually now used. So that's another software. We also have got a software for substation design. It's called SDS. It's a 3D system whereby you design the whole substation, the physical design of it, and also you can do the protection and control design of it. All those things are included in substation design suite. The other software that we also represent is it's called NERA. This is actually for doing poles and wires work, where utilities, they have poles, wires, and underground design. It all can be done on that software. Yeah, it's very, very powerful now. It's getting used by lots of utilities here in Australia now. Okay, so they're using it for all the design work. The last software, it's not an engineering software, but it is an asset management. This software, it's called CAL, and we used to call it Computerized Maintenance Management System. Nowadays, it's known as Enterprise Asset Management System. This software can do all sorts of, management of your assets. Pretty much, you have all the assets included into the software. You can then go ahead and do all sorts of preventive maintenance. Any breakdown that happens, you can take care of from work request. You can create a work order, and you can keep all the history in the software, all the spares. You can raise purchase orders and do everything. Now, this software, it can also has got another module which can do predictive maintenance, which is very important these days, because before something fails, you can predict that. Now, this software is can be used in 5 different verticalization. Now, 5 means it can be used by factories and utilities. When I say factories, means any types of factories, like whether it's a steel mill, either the food industry, or whether it's a mining industry, or any utilities like power utilities, water utilities, telecom, gas, any of those utilities where they have assets, this can be used. The other vertical is basically transport. It could be rail, it could be tram, it could be any type of transport, being bus, or it can be even aircraft. That section, that verticalization covers all the asset maintenance on that area. Then it can also be used for facilities. When I say facilities, I mean big shopping complex, resorts, hotels, this sort of people where they own lots of properties like this. They can maintain their properties with this software. The next verticalization is pretty much councils are there. Now, these are city councils. As you know, all the city council, they own lots of assets. Okay, they have roads, They have parks, they have, halls, buildings, many things they own. So all this can be maintained very well with this software. Okay. Also, Cal can be used for, um, yeah. So many verticalizations are there. They can be used, and it's quite a user friendly software, I would say. And our clients really love it. It has got lots of features that can be, useful for our client. Now, after that, the other business unit we have is the engineering and design. Now, in engineering and design, we pretty much do designs for our client who needs power to their, say, let's say, to their factory, or even if they are a client who is doing a solar farm and they need to connect with the utility. We are an ISP level 3 designers, and we can work with the utility to get you the power. Okay, whether you have to export the power or you have to take the power, import the power, it's we get involved. We are able to work with the utilities in New South Wales and get all that done. Some clients are into subdivision work, and once they do that, they need power reticulation done. We can design, we can get it, the design certified, and we also assist them into construction. Okay, these are some of the things we do. Even if a client has got, some clients, even can be not a business. It could be a, individual who wants to split their, land into two and needs connection to the other property. We also help them there. We can do the application and get it done for them. So these are design type work. Also, we are able to do power system studies for our client. Let's say our client needs to expand their factory. They need power to their factory, and we can do all the studies and do all sorts of things like what will be the maximum demand they require there. We work with the utility, and we can do all the calculations from, cable sizing to protection studies. Everything can be done for the client. Okay, so these are some of the things we do. We also do earthing studies. Let's say we put a distribution substation there. We can also do the earthing design to make sure everything complies. The touch and step potentials are all within the limits. Okay, so there's nothing can go wrong. So these are various things we do in design. Other than that, the other business unit is which we call industrial hardware. Now, sometimes when we do design work, our client requires us to complete the job so that we can come to us and we can do everything for them. So we also get the products manufactured. For example, a switchboard. Once we did some work for a client, and he says, right, can we, iEngineering, provide the switchboard? Then we work with our partner companies, making sure we get the right switchboard built, tested, and delivered and commissioned for the client. So not only switchboards, we are able to provide other things like transformers, cables, generators. EV charging is one area we are doing a lot now. All these sort of things we do for our clients in the industrial hardware. Okay. Also, power quality side, we are also working on making sure the power quality is, providing power factor correction units or harmonic filters to our clients. So that's all about, engineering. If you go to our website, you'll see all these things are listed there.
Wow, very interesting. So in depth. Thank you for all of that information. That's amazing. So you mentioned some other countries that you guys work in. So you're based in Australia, but where else do you guys service? What other areas do you go to in our beautiful world?
Yes, very good question. We are based in Australia mainly, but we have got a business registration in India, and we also have got one in Fiji with a similar name or same name, let's say. And we have got people there also working for us. So yeah, we are in 3 different countries.
Interesting. You mentioned before we came on this call about being a one-stop shop and that aftercare after you provide the service to your client. What happens after that? Do you provide additional service beyond the delivery of the product?
Yes, yes, 100%. Like, I mean, if you look at the software, for example, yes, we have after sales support. If any problem happens, you contact us, our team, and we will provide any technical support. We not only install and train, we definitely provide after sales support. Any upgrades will take care of that. Likewise, if say you have a problem with your hardware, let's say you purchase something, and you needed spares, so we are here to provide the space for you, and look after you. That's definitely there.
And then your oh no, I gapped. I'm sorry. What's the process when somebody wants to, when a company decides they want to come work with you, and they reach out to your company? What is the first couple of steps after that? Do you do an on-site assessment, or how do people get started with you?
Yes, once again, depending on which area of verticalization or which area of business unit you are looking at. So if let's say if it was industrial hardware, and if someone just came and said, look, we have got a switchboard which is pretty old and we need to get retrofitted, or get a new one, brand new one. Yes, we start working with give us what existing is there, the old single line diagrams, and we'll start working and look at what was the old system, old technology was there. Now probably it's 30 years old now, and we will provide with the latest technology, what is available, most cost effective product to them. And then yeah, so first of all we provide a code, and then if client is okay with it, the pricing, then obviously uh, we start the manufacturing process, and then we do the testing, and then make sure the client is happy with all the testing that we have carried out. It complies to the Australian standard also. All those things we take care of, and then we get it to the site and install it.
So you don't only supply new, you will also replace older, out of date software and hardware as well then, is that right?
Yes, in some cases we don't change the whole lot, because there's one thing has a problem. So what we do is we just replace that particular module, or that particular drive, whatever it is, switch gear, as far as it must fit and work there, and it should be with the same specification and ratings, so it works for them.
Okay, all right. You've provided so much information for us here today. Is there any last minute information you'd like to share, or anything that you'd like to, one kind of last words of wisdom to leave with the viewer?
Well, one thing I must say, as you now know, that we cover three different business units from software. So we have got a bunch of engineering software, and we also have got in-house people with electrical engineering qualification, with design capabilities, and we got all the accreditations. And then we also are able to provide the products that are required if it is. So I I must say to my clients that yeah, they can very easily come to us. It's a one-stop shop type thing, where you can get most of the thing looked after. Even if there is something else, we also go ahead and do project management. There are certain times we are not able to do everything, but we can take care of as a project management, whereby we will engage a subcontractor do certain parts of the work. So you can be rest assured that we will do everything for you. So yeah, so don't just think that, oh, you'll do one thing. We can provide various other service now.
All right. And if there's something you can't do, you'll outsource it and get it done. You'll make it
Yes,
happen.
yes, we have other business partners, like they work very closely with us. So we just go to them. We know they're reliable, that we've done many times, so we have that confidence to get the job done.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby at iEngineering. It's been an amazing and educational experience for me talking to you today. Anybody that's watching this, you need some engineering done, Bobby's your man. iEngineering's your company. Somewhere around this video is a link you can click on. It'll take you to their information. Reach out and see how they can help you. Thank you so much for your time today, Bobby.
Thank you, Connie. Thank you very much. Bye
You're very
bye.
welcome. Bye bye.